This is Jennifer McKenna. I work in the School of History, Language and Cultures as professional services staff.
Jacqui-Ann Hanley, work over in the Institute of Ageing and Chronic Disease as a CIMA Centre Manager.
I'm Sarah Hussain, I'm the Head of Study Abroad, and you're listening to the Academy's Developing Practice podcast.
So we're really pleased to be speaking with you today about your experiences of attending the Springboard programme. Before we start, can you tell us a little bit about your own backgrounds and how you've got to where you are at the university? Sarah, if we can start with you.
So I'm Sarah, I'm the Head of Study Abroad here at the university, and I started my kind of career in HE in 2005. So I started at university as an international officer, which was recruitment and study abroad. And then over the last 14 years, just counting in my head there, I've progressed through various roles within international. It's always been my field of interest and expertise, I guess. And so in 2014, became Head of Study Abroad, which is basically about increasing number of students who are going abroad on exchange and also bringing inbound exchange students into the university as well.
So do you work with the students themselves, or are you supporting programmes in terms of engaging with study abroad?
So we work with about 500 outbound students, so who are Liverpool students going abroad and also inbound students coming to the university. But there's a team of 9, so my role is now perhaps less student facing than it used to be.
Yeah, great.
Thanks. Jacqui?
Yeah, I'm Jacqui. I work over in the Institute of Ageing and Chronic Disease. I'm the CIMA Centre Manager. So CIMA is the MRC-Arthritis funded centre for integrated research into musculoskeletal ageing. Bit of a mouthful, so we stick with CIMA. But it's a centre that's spread across Liverpool, University of Sheffield and University of Newcastle. And the centre researches into kind of how our muscles, joints and bones kind of change as we age, and how this makes some people prone to like arthritis and other problems, and what we can do to reduce that risk as we get older. So I'm the one that kind of looks after the money and keeps all the researchers in check.
Whenabouts did you come into HE?
So this is my first role in HE.
Okay.
I started just over a year ago. My background is I did a PhD in Liverpool in physiology, and then went into medical research funding, and mainly for charities.
Right.
But now I've come into HE on the other side of the research money.
Cool, thanks very much. Jen, last but no means least.
I'm Jen. I work in School of History, Language and Culture as a professional services member of staff. I work on the front line, so I work with students and staff. I've actually worked here for 20 years. It's probably the average age of a student. I'm 51 and I'm a mum of 2, so I've got a child of 24 and 21, and I've been married for 21 years, and I've got a husband who I've known for 30 years, so I think I deserve a medal for that, apart from anything else. As I say, I've worked and lived in Liverpool all my life, and I've really enjoyed it so far. I found it really supportive as well, even down to the Springboard course that I've been on. I think it does develop different people at different levels, and I think that come across in the course that I've just attended as well.
Brilliant. What kind of things are you doing with students? I'm just asking because I miss working with students, so I'm jealous.
So, that's one of the parts I really enjoy. So I work partly in quality assurance, so I deal with if students have not registered correctly, or module checks, programme builds, and I also work with students that go abroad as well. I work on students that go on a year abroad, so I kind of do admin for that as well, support them sometimes if they get into trouble or they need some help. I can direct them to the right person.
Brilliant. Great, well thanks folks, it's really good to have you here. So we're talking to you today because you've all taken part in the Springboard programme, and Springboard is specifically for women only as part of the inclusivity agenda at Liverpool to help remove barriers to females achieving in the workplace. So could you just tell us a little bit about what it was that appealed to you specifically in terms of attending the programme? So Sarah, shall we start with you?
So for me, I think I was looking at all different programmes that university offers. I think the most outstanding factor of the Springboard programme for me was that it was both personal and professional development. So it didn't just feel like you were concentrating fully on your career, but it was a much more balanced approach. So I'm a mum of two, so I've got two boys who are 8 and 10, so they're kind of a handful. So it's a lot about balancing my personal life and the needs of my family with also the desire to not necessarily to progress in a career, but to be fulfilled and to be happy in a career. And I wanted to have a programme that would help me to look at the whole of my life holistically rather than just focusing on the career aspect to the detriment of family life, or equally to do something outside of the university that would just be family focused and less career focused. So that was the defining reason that drew me to the programme, really.
Brilliant.
That it was much more holistic than most other professional development programmes are.
And do you think it achieved that in terms of bringing it all together?
I think it has really, it's really helped me actually in a number of different ways. I think it's made me be able to prioritise a bit better, both at home and at work. And I think that's enabled me to balance my time better between the two. And also just the feelings that you have around when you're at home, and when you're at work, and you're not trying to be in both roles at the same time, which I think can be quite a struggle for a lot of women.
Yeah.
When you're trying to kind of do everything for everybody all the time, it also gives you a bit of time for yourself. So I think the most valuable, or one of the most valuable things about the programme for me was that you had 4 days where you were just really bonding with a group of women, and we were all thinking about our own development, but equally supporting each other. And it's very, very rare. I mean, people don't sit down and say to you, right, Sarah, take 4 days to think about yourself. They really don't. So, it's an absolutely unique opportunity to do that, and also to do that in a really supportive environment as well, with other staff from the university who understand the environment that we work in, but equally with other women who are often in similar positions or have been in a similar position where you're balancing different parts of your life, or maybe will be in the future. So for me, that was the uniqueness of the programme that drew me to it.
And that's one thing I realised in the programme is that, you meet all these women who are in so many different roles, but we actually all have similar experiences and similar issues, and it was really good that we were in our groups and we could share that, and we all felt that sense of camaraderie, I guess, and gave each other help and support.
So just to put you on the spot, what were some of the kind of topics that you looked at? Obviously work-life balance was an important topic. Were there other kind of headlines in terms of the kind of things that you talked about?
Assertiveness, yeah. Confidence.
Okay.
I think as women sometimes we don't put ourselves forward enough for things, and not just that, for personal reasons. We've got children, we've got family, we feel like we can't do certain things, or we can't do that because we're looking after so and so and this, that and the other, and we need to take a little moment for ourselves sometimes and think about what's right for us too sometimes. And I think the Springboard programme, I don't know about you, but I think it gives us time to reflect on ourselves, which sometimes you're rushing around, you don't get a chance to do that. You're rushing in work, you're rushing to work, from work, with kids, with parents, carers, people that you need to help, and we don't actually get that opportunity to sit down and actually think, hang on, what do I want out of life? What am I going to do? Where do I go from here? And that gives us that opportunity, I think. And also listening to people in our groups, our home groups. It was an opportunity for me personally, because I would never have met those people otherwise. I would never have considered talking to those people. It was a wide, varied group of people that we were randomly selected to go to. And that for me was really, really good.
Yeah, great.
It gave me the confidence to be able to interact with different people and not feel intimidated by, they're more senior than me, so I don't really think I could talk to them. But that was really good.
There was a wide range of people there, like different levels, different departments, like from the whole university. So that was really good. I think it's not just people on the same grade or just in the same department, and you tend to get the same ideas or the same views. But there's such a wide mix of people. It was great.
Yeah. And yet we all had similar things.
Yeah, I think that was one thing for me, realising that a lot of people have very, very similar challenges, whatever role you're in or whatever is going on in your home life. A lot of there were massively similar themes, weren't there? I think we all discovered, and you've already touched on it really, but the thing about assertiveness was huge throughout the whole group, and self-confidence. I think we all really kind of chimed with that, didn't we? That we needed to improve our level of assertiveness and self-confidence, definitely. And it really did help. Doing that together as a group and looking at some of the techniques that you can use within meetings and in different situations, I think that was really helpful.
The one thing I always remember is, because you spoke about it on the next meetings when we learnt about the mouse at the meeting.
Oh yeah.
I can never remember the exact details. Is that if you don't speak within the first few minutes,
something like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're more likely to just sit and not speak throughout the entire meeting. So I always remember you saying that you tried that and it worked, and then I've then taken that. And
it does
help,
doesn't it?
Yeah, I've actually done that too now.
So that's lovely. So you're learning tips from each other as well, in terms of sharing experiences and learning from one another, as well as learning from the people who are running the programme, which is lovely. Jacqui, do you want to tell us a little bit about what appealed to you in terms of attending the programme?
It was similar to Sarah really. It was kind of it was both work and personal development, because I guess these things aren't in isolation. They all kind of feed into each other, and if you're confident and happy at work, you're happy at home, and vice versa. So having something that kind of was holistic and looked at the whole thing was kind of appealing to me, and also the fact that there were 4 sessions. It wasn't like weeks and weeks of a training program, or one session and then a few months later you have another one. It was 4 that within a few weeks, a few months of each other, and then in between we got to meet with our home groups and kind of talk about what we'd learned, what we'd tried, and what didn't work, what did work. Yeah, that's what drew me to it, I think.
Brilliant, thank you. And Jen, what about yourself?
I think I'd had a dip in confidence, to be honest with you. I think I got to a stage where I thought, if I carry on just doing the same thing, nothing's actually going to change. I think I needed to change my habits, my way of thinking, and I wanted to challenge myself, really. I never thought I'd be sitting here today doing this. I am one of those people that will sit in a meeting and listen. I've got all the ideas. Well, not all the ideas, but I have got something to say, but wouldn't necessarily say it. So what Sarah said kind of made me speak out a little bit more in meetings. And also, I think it's just a good thing to do. It's a fast-paced society now. I started 20 years ago. I need to upgrade my skills on a regular basis. I don't need to rely on post-it notes too much. I need to start thinking and improving myself. And it's my turn now, so I'm trying to develop myself a little bit more. And life doesn't end at 50. It carries on, and you start developing in a different way. And that's hopefully what I want to do in personal life and also professionally as well. Yeah.
Brilliant. I think that's so important, isn't it? And I think for me, as time goes on, and you're talking about society being really fast-paced, the institution has to change, but it can only change if it hears everyone's voice. And we do have brilliant senior leaders, but actually we need to hear everyone's voice below that if we're going to really respond to the ever-changing climate. So that's great that it's built that confidence in you.
Well, I tried to come off social media for a couple of months, and as a 50-year-old, I don't use social media that much. But I know my children do, I know students do, I know the younger people do. And it was so hard for me, but for them it must be incredibly difficult to do. And I know that must be very, very stressful. I mean, you find stress in everything, don't we? But that must be incredibly stressful for students these days, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pressure's all around, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's constant, isn't it?
Yeah. You're constantly under the microscope. by being on that,
Yeah.
being on those platforms.
People, and as well, people look completely different as well. They look
Yes,
to themselves
they
sometimes.
do.
Yeah.
So when you meet them in
Yeah.
real life, you think, is that really you?
Yeah.
But what's lovely is that you've picked that up from working with students, and you need to feed that into the university, and maybe this course has built that confidence in you that you can now share that perspective.
Yeah, I think having children that age as well, because my
Right.
children are the age that students
Yeah,
are
of course.
almost. And I think I notice the difference in that, and I do think it's something I'm quite passionate about. Actually, it's something I'm going to take forward myself. I think go into.
Jacqui, can I just pick you up on something that you mentioned earlier in one of your replies? You talked about home groups. The programme has another number of component parts, and when we evaluate these programmes, and we really do pore over the data that comes in, being developers, the most valuable area of the programme seem to be the home groups. So can you tell us a little bit about the benefits of working in the home groups?
Yeah, the home groups, we were split into, I think our group was split into 4, and there were about 6 or 7 of us, in each group. And what I liked about the group was that you could actually, it wasn't just a big group of women, and you were talking to the room, you were just talking to your group, to those 6 or 7 people, and like what we said before, everyone might have a different background or different experiences, but we've all got similar challenges or similar ideas, and you really felt connection with other people in the group when you were talking, listening to others, and kind of I think it certainly gave me confidence to then share more to those women, and actually it taught me to listen as well, to actually really listen to what someone was saying and really try and understand what they were trying to say, and what if I should respond, or how I should respond, what I can do to help. And after each session, we had homework, and we had a pretty chunky textbook that we had. We had questionnaires to fill in or things to do outside of the sessions, and having those groups, or having those women in the group, really kind of held you accountable. But it was really supportive, I think, that having those groups. And for me, we're meeting. Well, we've met once since the end of the programme, and the plans to keep meeting up.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it's and hearing about what other people in my group or the other women have done since then, and how the programme has made them think about what they might want to do, or jobs they might want to go for, makes you think, it's really good. Maybe I should continue with that, or look at something different. And it's really, I hate the word inspiring, but it kind of is.
Brilliant.
So, just for the listener's sake and my sake, I won't lie. Just explain to me how many people were in the group as a whole. How many did you have in there for that cohort?
In the room.
On our home team?
No,
or
in
the whole
the whole
cohort?
cohort.
20 wasn't it?
something.
Something like that, yeah.
So then you were broken into groups of 6 or 7 from
About
that
6.
cohort.
About 6,
Yeah.
5 or 6.
Right. And then those groups are the groups that you sort of stayed in and supported your learning and your development outside of the classroom.
Yeah, so during one session, we'd sit with our home group around a table, and we might do activities together, but we'd then share them with the rest of the room, or we then might do an activity, the whole group together. And then outside of the sessions, it wasn't kind of mandated that you had to meet up with people, but I think because we were all getting a lot out of it and we wanted to meet up, I think some people had WhatsApp groups, and our group went out for a burrito lunch, and we just kind of held each other accountable, and then that kind of built those relationships for then the next session when we had to do more things together.
Brilliant. A couple of you have mentioned how the programme has helped you to build your confidence. And we know, the literature says that often women do struggle traditionally from a lack of self-confidence. I was just wondering, you've talked about a couple of examples, so maybe having more confidence in work meetings, but are there any other examples that you can give us where it's really had an impact in different areas of your work or home life in terms of your confidence levels? Jen, shall we start with you?
Well, I do suffer from a lack of self-confidence. So for me, the big challenge was to start saying no more, and also to start saying yes a little bit more as well, and being clear on what I actually wanted to do. I think that was part of it. And from that, people don't expect somebody who's not confident to start being suddenly so assertive or whatever. So you have to take it slowly, because you can come across as being quite, I don't know, pushy.
Especially if people aren't used to it.
If you're not used to somebody being a certain way. So I've kind of taken small steps in both personal and private. Like I've actually said no to people, which I would never have done in the past. I would have just done it and struggled on. So, and I've explained why I can't do it as well. It's not just a case of I'm not doing that, I can't be bothered doing it. It's, I've explained why I can't. And the yes bit is proof in the pudding. Like I think when we've done the Springboard course, I'd never done a presentation before, so I kind of pushed myself with the help of my home group. I just thought I'm not going to think about it, and that's part of it, to overthinking things as well. So that was like a coping mechanism, I think, for me, is to stop overthinking.
Great. When you've started saying no to people, how have they reacted to that? Because it's obviously quite a change for you. Have they accepted that? Have they supported you with that change?
Don't get me wrong, I still say yes quite a lot of the time. It's very small. I'm doing it. It's a small process for me. I kind of do things in small chunks. Nice. So for me, it's a case of, just get over that hurdle first, see how it goes, go over the next one, see how that goes. I'm never going to be one of those people that just dive straight in. Never in a million years. But that's me, and that's the way I am. And I just have to accept that and just work with what I've got and go from there.
The saying no, the not being able to say no, that was something I think that came out of the group, was that everyone was like, we always say yes to doing everything and then really struggle with too much, but also not saying yes to the things that we might want to do or might be good for us to do. So yeah, it definitely gave me more confidence in saying no, and these are the reasons why not, or maybe we could do this instead, and then saying yes to the things that I was interested in or that I wanted to do for myself.
Yeah, as well.
There was an interesting conversation, wasn't there, as well? I don't know if you remember the part about choices, about making your own decisions and being confident in your own decisions, but equally taking responsibility for the choice that you make. So sometimes, I think there was examples given of when you've got caring responsibilities, you're still choosing to do that. I mean, obviously no one's going to not fulfill those roles, but you still have a choice at the end of the day. So instead of sort of feeling as if you're having something thrust upon you and that you've got to help all these other people, sometimes it's about saying, well, actually I'm choosing to do this. I actively want to help my child with their homework, or I need to go and do my shopping for my mum because she can't get around the supermarket, and I'm making that decision and owning your own decision rather than feeling that everyone else is inflicting it on you. And I found that very helpful, actually. I think that's been something that I've returned to quite a few times, actually.
I remember it caused a bit of controversy though at the time. When
it did.
Trying to say you choose to look after your child with their homework, and everyone was like, well, no, I don't. But actually, yeah, you do. For various reasons, but
and I guess the flip side of that is the choice around your children to say no as well. One thing we're struggling with in our house at the moment is packing the children's bags. They're 11 and 14 now. They can pack, and my husband's always like, you don't need to pack their bags. And then when you say to them, actually, I'm choosing to let you pack your bag, and then you get in trouble when you've put the wrong books in. And that is a choice, isn't it? I feel really uncomfortable by that because I'm a control freak, so I like to know that they've got their geography book in their bag.
No, you're just a mum, that's what it is. It's not being in control. I like to be organised.
But it is that choice, isn't it, of,
exactly.
you're caring. Yeah, absolutely.
So it comes across from the three of you that you all benefited from the programme and you did enjoy it. So if someone is listening and is thinking of applying or considering supporting someone to attend the programme, what would you say to them? And Sarah, can I start with you?
I would absolutely go for it. I think I'm really delighted that I did the programme. I think it's really helped me both in work and in my home life as well. I think it has given me a bit of a new sense of purpose, really, and I feel I've got more energy, I've got more ability to manage my time. I feel that I've been quite inspired, particularly by the group aspect of it. Actually, I think you could work through the textbook because that's one of the components of the programme. You could sit there and you could work through that by yourself, but you would not get anything out of it in terms of the same way that you get support from the rest of the group, not just the home group, but also equally the larger cohort as a whole. So it's an absolutely fantastic chance. I mean, I think I've talked to some of my friends about it that are not working at the university, and they've just all been absolutely blown away by the fact that the university gives you that chance to take 4 days that's, out of your own working time. It's a real luxury, and I think we're very, very lucky to have that. So I've really, really appreciated it, and I would recommend it to everybody.
Jem, what would you say?
Right, well, I definitely would recommend it. Just following on from what Sarah said, I think it was a fabulous opportunity. I feel really honoured and privileged to work in the university anyway, and I think it's a really valuable opportunity for people to be supported in the workplace like this, to be given the chance. I think it's absolutely fabulous. I think it should be rolled out more. I think more students and staff even should be involved in it. I just think it's really, really good in this day and age to have something like that. We need to think about our well-being as well as everything else. And I think if you've got staff that are productive, happy, secure, and feeling motivated, I think this kind of course is something that should really be maintained for that. Myself, like I said before, I think one of the main things for me was, I thought you just put your head down and worked and that would be okay and you just get by, whatever. But lifting your head up, realising that networking, communicating with other people and listening to the people that we were actually in the cohort with even, and as we've said quite a few times, it's the most invaluable thing, even not just the book, being in the room with people, talking to them. It can be uncomfortable at times, but sometimes things have to be uncomfortable if you're not used to it. It's pushing past that boundary and getting used to it. And all I can say is just reiterate what Sarah said. It's an invaluable opportunity, and it would be so good if it just continued on.
Because it was fun as well. Like you kind of within the groups. I think one of the last sessions we had to talk about what we'd learned and what we'd done differently, and we had a quiz, and I think I was banging a drum at one point, which is not like me. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. The bit about you said earlier, the one thing that was a bit uncomfortable at times was I think after the first session, some of the questions or some of the things we had to think about were quite personal, because obviously this is a work and personal development programme. And the questions made you really think about your life and what you're doing and what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And I remember after we came back in the second session, and our home group was saying actually it was a bit much, it was a bit intrusive at times, and I felt a bit uncomfortable kind of going through that. And that second session was really in depth and quite hard at points, but actually once you get through that and kind of get towards the end, you realise how valuable and useful it is, and how much fun you've had over those 4 days, and you just get to meet a great group of women and feel supported. And it's only 4 sessions, so it's great.
Just think after 4 sessions, all those people that we've met, and how far they came just in those 4 sessions. You could see people actually changing. In the room, you could see some of the stories that you heard and the actual feedback you got at the end of the session. It was amazing, the transformation in people, wasn't it? And it's an ongoing process, isn't it? It doesn't stop. Start to read that book.
So are they 4 consecutive days, or are there gaps in between each session?
There's gaps
To help you reflect.
I think over about 6 weeks, wasn't it?
Okay,
So there were 4 sessions, and they were all one day long each.
Yeah.
But you'd have like a week or 2 weeks gap between them, which is good because it gives you a chance to catch up on reading the book, but also to reflect between sessions. I think to give you a bit of time to kind of process what you've actually taken in during the day, because it's not an instant fix. It's not like some other training programs where you go in and you're taught, I don't know, how to use a database or how to use words. It's not like that at all, is it? It's much more of a self-reflection, and you really get out of it what you put in, and it's much more, I think, over the sort of medium to longer term that we'll probably really see the fruits of the time that we've put in, really, I think.
Yeah, well, that's what it said. It's about making those small changes and then reflecting on them and thinking, did it work? How well did it work? What can I do different next time? And then making a different change or just improving on it and making those kind of, like you said, those baby steps and
baby steps.
But making those changes and like you said, making them sustainable.
Do you know what I thought was really funny when the second week, I think it was, and I thought I'd done really well, and I was about to say I'd done the couch to 5k, and about 6 other people, 7 other people, and I was devastated. I thought I was doing really well.
That was really interesting.
I was going to be inspirational.
Because we all started doing couch to 5k after that first session. None of us had talked about it.
Anything.
And we all independently downloaded that NHS app and started doing it. And then it wasn't until we came back we all said, I'm doing it, and I'm doing it.
Well, that's impressive. Anyone who's done the couch to 5k is very impressive. That's great. Brilliant. Well, thank you, ladies. And we always like to end our podcast with giving the listeners a couple of kind of take-home hints and tips. So it would be great for you if you could just share maybe one tip that you found really helpful about the programme, that you've taken for yourself and you've applied it to your life. So maybe that our listeners could also reflect on that and maybe apply it to their lives as well. So, Sarah, if we start with you.
So I think one thing that the Springboard programme made me realise is that, it's an ongoing process, personal development and professional development, and we all need to kind of keep on top of it. And it doesn't have to necessarily be in a very formal training environment. So one of the things that I found really useful is after Springboard, I'd identified certain areas that I needed to work on from a professional and personal point of view. And I kind of was thinking about, right, how can I factor that in? My life's really busy. I can't take a lot of time out of the office. I've already done this 4 days this year of training. I felt like I couldn't really then go on any more long training courses, and at home I'm really busy as well. So I used the university's LinkedIn Learning, which is all online. You can download it. It's really easy to use. It's got like little videos that you use, and you can pick out particular areas of interest for you, and it kind of chunks it up. So you'll get a sort of 3 to 4 minute video and then there'll be kind of multiple sessions, so you can break it up, so you've got like an hour long course, but it's broken into 3 to 4 minutes, which you can do in between waiting for your kettle to boil or while you're stacking your dishwasher at home. So I found that really, really helpful, and I feel like it started me on a kind of lifelong journey of keeping on top of developing your own skills in the way that suits you at that particular time in your life, which might be through informal training, it might be through networking, it might be through very formal classroom situations. So I think it's just knowing kind of what's out there and applying that. I found that one of the most useful things about doing the programme.
I guess the one thing that I've been doing is responding, not reacting. So we kind of learnt to, if, say, an email comes in and it really riles you up or really upsets you, just kind of just stopping and pausing for a second and thinking, okay, and kind of recognising what it's done to you, and then thinking, okay, well, that email's really annoyed me. Why has it annoyed me? Oh, okay, someone is asking me at really short notice to do something that I don't feel comfortable doing or I don't know how to do. Okay, well, what can I do about it? Okay, well, let's not just fire off an email going, say, okay, well, maybe I could learn how to do this and then do it, or if I think, no, I don't have the time or the capacity to do it, maybe offer a different option or different solution, and then responding rather than just flying off and just taking the time to think, why do I feel like that, and what can I do to make it better? Yes.
Yeah, I really agree with that one as well, because that's something I do sometimes too. My top tip would be, here it goes, is to do a superwoman pose. It sounds a bit bizarre. We talked about it in our sessions, but it actually does give you that little extra boost, believe it or not. I don't know whether it's psychological, it's all in my head or whatever, but it does actually work. So before you trying to do something you're not particularly keen on, or you don't think you've got the confidence to do something, maybe take yourself off to the bathroom, look in the mirror and give yourself a superwoman pose. Unfortunately, I can't show you that because we're on a podcast.
Just describe it to us. Are we talking about a cape here or tie?
There's no outfit involved in it. There's no quick spin around in the toilets. No change like Superman. It's just the physical aspect of being confident in the mirror with yourself. Whether you do the superwoman pose or you just tell yourself that you're confident enough that you can do it, it's amazing what you can actually achieve. And one of the things I've done that with is it combines saying yes and no, which I've talked about earlier. So I've started saying yes to things a bit more. So we're on the couch to 5k. I've now signed up for a 10k. I'm doing that in Liverpool. Thank you very much, ladies. I will be walking at half. And the other thing is I joined a cycle team as well. So I cycle quite a lot now. So I'm doing a charity thing for Alder Hay as well for them. Which has been really good, combines my love of the outdoors with eating cake and cafes, which I regularly visit along the way. So yeah, it's just saying yes, seeing where you can, by saying yes, see where you end up, basically, and try and say yes to things a little bit more.
Brilliant. Well, thank you all so much. We really, really appreciate you coming and sharing with us today about the Springboard programme.
Yeah, thanks very much. So it was really good to hear from our three guests there. What really impressed me about the Springboard programme was that it managed to develop its participants in different ways at the same time. So the ladies spoke about how they came to the programme for different reasons, but they all seem to have got what they wanted out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that really struck me was the way that they bonded together as a group and they supported each other in terms of their development. But you're right, they all got different things from the programme and they supported each other to achieve that.
Yeah, for example, I think some of them talked a lot about confidence and how that enabled them to be more assertive at work and at home.
Yeah, I really liked, I think it was Jen who was talking about she learnt to say no more and she learnt to say yes more. And I think that's great, isn't it? Thinking about actually what do I want to achieve and framing my decisions around that in terms of not just saying yes to everything, but being really strategic in terms of where do I want my career to go and what do I need to be saying yes to even though it's scary, and what do I need to be saying no to because it just fills my time.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of other things that I picked up on, and I'm not sure who mentioned it, but somebody was saying about how life is fast-paced, but the need to develop seems to be more prevalent than ever before. I completely agree with that. For others, it seems to have opened up the possibilities of networking and creating relationships with others outside of their area of work, which, in terms of an OD thing, we're all about that. We like that very much.
Brilliant. Well, it would be great to hear what you thought about that conversation. So please do tweet us at Live Uni Academy. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you're interested in the programme and what you gained from the conversations that we had with our three colleagues. We'd also like to give you the opportunity to extend your thinking further around this. So if you'd like to go to the website, liverpool.ac.uk/the-academy. We've linked there in a reading list to a range of different resources that you may want to dip into to further extend your thinking around this topic.
Yeah, and if you can please rate and review in iTunes or simply subscribe to the podcast via platforms such as Spotify, Google Podcasts or YouTube, that would be much appreciated. Bye for now.